Hello everyone, it's Aderonke again. I hope your day is going well. Today I'd like to talk about the word Eleggua and what it means. I would be translating it to Yorùbá and then telling you what it means in English, just so that you can have a better idea of what it means. First of all, Eleggua is simply the mispronunciation of Elegba. So, amongst the characteristical names of Eshu, you would hear Elegba, you'd hear Elegbara. Elegbara is different from Elegba. Elegbara is more the powerful one. You know the way that you have Alagbara in a different dialect. You have Elegbara. The way that you have Olodumare in a different dialect, you have Eledumare. So it's somewhat like that. It's Eleggua is a mispronunciation of Elegba, and Elegba is what I'm about to analyze. Again, it's one of the characteristical names of Eshu. It tells you something about who Eshu is and Eshu's function. So to understand what Elegba is, of course, the way that our nouns are formed, they are noun makers combined with verbs. So the verbs came first, and when you combine certain noun makers with them, you make nouns out of those combinations. Excuse me. I beg your pardon. So Elegba, let's take the major verb that is in that word. Well, the only verb really, and it is ba. It is ba. So once you understand what ba means, you sort of have a better idea of Elegba. Ba could be to receive or to collect. It's a verb for receive or collect. It's also to rescue. So if I say mo fẹ́ gba owó lọ́wọ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi, I want to collect money from my friend, or mo fẹ́ gba owó lọ́wọ́ àwọn òbí mi, I want to collect money from my parents. Gba is to collect, to receive. However, if someone is in trouble and they need help, they would probably scream ẹ gbà mí o, ẹ gbà mí o, ẹ gbà mí o. Gba is to rescue, to come to the rescue of, or simply to rescue. That is what gba is in a different context. So, èmi ni mo gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. I'm the one who collected it from him, or I'm the one who received it from him or her or them, or even I'm the one who rescued them. Ó ní kí n gbà òun, mo dẹ̀ gbà, come to the rescue of, help. If you're asking for assistance from a deity, you'd say, gbà mí o, ẹ gbà mí o, ẹ̀yin aṣíwájú, ẹ̀yin alálẹ̀, come to the rescue of, or rescue. And this tells you about this is a characteristical description, really, of what Eshu does. Eshu not only receives, but rescues. Elegba, however, would be, if you really want to break it down, Oni Egba. Oni Egba, and that is the one who has. Oni is like the one who has, and then this is a different dialect, just broken down, simplified, if you will, so that you can sort of see what it is by part. Or you could say, or Oni Egba anyway is Elegba. Oni is the one who has. Ni is to have. So Oni is the one who has. And then here is the characteristic or characteristics of, and then Ba is to receive or collect. So Elegba would be the one who has the characteristics of receiving and collecting. And it's really succinct because that is in fact accurate. Eshu is the enforcer, if you will. So anyway, Elegba receives supplications, prayers, dues and gifts when approached, but Elegba also goes out to rescue when called upon. So it's like you go to the police if you have issues, the one who receives when you come to them, but they also go out to rescue. So they don't only wait for you to come to them, they go out to rescue when called upon. But even if they're not called upon, issues duty. I feel like I need, okay, that would be after I make this. I feel like I need water. Anyway, they enforce justice. Eshu is an enforcer of law and justice and maintainer of public order. So, they don't only, receive when you come to them, they also reach out. They go out to rescue when called upon. Think of what a policeman does, a proper policeman anyway. Another thing that I just wanted to touch on briefly is the fact that they are impartial and indifferent. So not only do they rescue, they receive, but they are really impartial and indifferent. So people who call themselves Omo Ishu, and they wear the red and black ileke and all that, know deep down in their minds that it doesn't necessarily mean that they get any extra favors when it comes to like judgment or executing order and fairness. And maybe that might even have something to do with karma as well. I just don't want to go far off into like a different body of work or a different belief system. But those who do identify themselves this way know that deep down, there's really no such. It's like being some people would be, especially if you're from Christianity, being the pastor's kid. It's all fun, but well, maybe no. For example, the reason why I mentioned that was the added pressure when you are in that position to perform even better, or you are the proprietor's kid. You sort of have to strive harder because all eyes would be on you, sort of thing. Or even if you are Omo Batala as well, when it comes to purity, it's all cool, but that in your character, to whom much is given, much is expected. So issues, there's really no Omo issue. Like if you identify as their child, as their, and it really doesn't mean that other deities are partial. If you're Omo Oshun, let's say, it doesn't mean that Oshun is partial, but they have this maternal touch and they would want to, but it should be like no. So I think for any deity that you honor or reverence, you have to honor issue as well. It's like, how do I put it in simple terms without like removing the, okay, to oversimplify it, it's like the way that you pay tax to the police. If there are certain things that Eshu would do, even when you go to Oshun or you go to Oya or you go to, they all have like, issue sort of has to be honored, irrespective of the deity that you honor. Whether you know that you're paying tax to the police or not, for whatever tax that you pay, a portion of it still has to go to the police just for the work that they do. It's not bribe. It doesn't mean that if you do something wrong tomorrow, they are not going to arrest you or they are not going to lock you in jail because, let's not arrest this guy for the murder that he committed because he paid tax last year and that paid our salary. There's really no such thing. So you can sort of, Elegba is the deity of law enforcement agents, really, because there's a lot to learn from the energy of issue. So the one who receives and rescues is impartial and indifferent. And also it is reminiscent of agba, because the central verb in agba, agbalagba. Agbalagba is we have received the role of biagba. And the role of receiving is really, really important, to receive new and returning souls to the human sphere of earth, because it's not just, us, really. Earth doesn't revolve around us. We're not even the only beings here. Sometimes we tend to forget. So their role, the role of the elders or the older anyway, is to receive new and returning souls to the human sphere of earth and also provide support and foster balance even after their death. Even after they die and we bury them underneath the soil, they are still acting as gravitational forces, and you can still talk to them and let them know that this is how things are going. The ones who receive, but the ones who also manage, who reach out, who manage things, who ensure that things are in order. Of course, that is the role. Doesn't necessarily mean that every elder or older person really accepts what their duty is. So agbalagba is, the ones who receive the role of being the ones who receive, the ones who support, that was why I put gravity, who just ensure that things remain in order. So anyway, that aside, Elegba is the one who receives. So receives complaints, receives gifts and dues and, tax. I use that example. Receives supplications, but also goes out to rescue what's going on there. The way that a policeman can be on your side if you're on the right side of the law, and if you give them a 911 call, they come to your rescue, is the same way that they will put another person in handcuffs, and sort of ensure that they are where they need to be. If it's prison, if it's, they are, justice is served, the law is enforced, So that is basically what it is. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for your support, and bye for now.
Àjọngọ́rọ̀ àròpọ̀ ẹ̀bọ̀rà tí ń jẹ́ látọ̀pa ọ̀bẹ́lẹ́kún sọkún ẹlẹ́kún sọkún láàróyè ń ṣẹ̀jẹ̀. Òbé mi sunmí ẹni mi sunmí láàróyè ń sùnkún ẹ̀bọ̀rà tí ń jẹ́ látọ̀pa. Èṣù èṣù mọ̀mọ́ sẹ́ni dákun mọ́ sẹ́ni kọ̀ọ̀kan wá. Èṣù mọ̀mọ́ ṣe wá. Dákun mọ́ sẹ́ni kọ̀ọ̀kan nínú awo. Àwa rẹ̀ ní ṣùgbọ́n àwa rẹ̀ ní ìkẹ́kùn. Èṣù mọ́ ṣe wá. Dákun mọ́ sẹ́ni kọ̀ọ̀kan wá o. Èṣù tó bá sọ máa wo ilẹ̀ lọ́dà o. Ńlọ́dà láké ńlọ́dà lóko o. Ńlọ́dà lọ́là. Pédélé ọ̀rọ̀gùn ọlọ́mọ ògbóyè láké o. Ògbóyè lóko ògbóyè lọ́là. Pédélé ọ̀rọ̀gùn ọlọ́mọ Èṣù mọ́sẹ̀ nìkankan wá o.